Hi, my name's Angela, and I'm the dog behavior specialist here at the Humane Society of Huron Valley. And as you likely know by this point, HSHV is proud to be one of the transfer partners who is helping out with finding homes for some of the 4,000 beagles that recently came into the national news after being released from a large-scale breeding research facility. It's quite a large rescue task for anyone to take on, and we're proud to be helping get some of these pups into some loving homes. And we've decided to put a video together for our potential beagle adopters to talk about how to set you up for success and be prepared for some of the behaviors or challenges that you may or may not have when bringing home a dog with sort of a unique background such as this. So if you're looking at adopting one of these beagles, there are a few things to keep in mind. The big thing is that they have not been living in a regular home environment where most of the dogs that we see here at the shelter have likely been previously. They've been in a very specific type of environment, probably a large-scale kenneling situation, and it's quite possible and probable that they have not received the same types of socialization with other humans and animals and the same type of basic training that most dogs who grew up in a human environment would have received. So a lot of the things that we take for granted that our family pets are used to and see as normal, these guys might take a little bit more time getting used to. That said, it's also important to keep in mind that individual animals can vary greatly in their responses to situations. Some of the issues I talk about in this presentation today may be things you encounter or may not. We really don't know what to expect entirely. It's going to be, everybody will see where their pup that they're bringing home is at, and hopefully these are just some tips to help you out and be proactive, get you thinking about things that may arise, and how you can be successful and help them through it if you do see these things come up. So I mentioned earlier that these dogs probably have been what we often call undersocialized, meaning that essentially they haven't quite learned how to be a dog. They have been in a very unique environment, as I had said, and while we expect they've probably been around people and other dogs to some degree while they were there, the number of people and animals that they interacted with are probably fairly limited, and the types of experiences they've had may be limited as well. Again, maybe only around feeding and cleaning and vet care and things like that. So not necessarily having the typical kind of human-dog relationship and bond as most of our family pets have had before. And they most certainly have not been exposed to a lot of just the everyday things in our home environments that we kind of take for granted. Things like car rides or going through doorways or walking on grass don't seem like they'd be something that would be scary to an animal, but if these dogs have been living in an indoor or kennel type environment, this may all be brand new to them. So approach life with them as you bring them home as realizing this all may be brand new. Our hope is that they're going to, of course, learn that all of this is wonderful and great, but right now they might be unsure. So think about as you introduce them to new people and your other household and family members, maybe other animals in the home, things like car rides, putting a leash and a collar and a harness on, taking them outside, even just walking in grass, walking on other types of surfaces, going up and down stairs, going through doorways. All of these things sometimes can be very strange new experiences for an animal that's been living in a fairly deprived environment. And just the everyday things of being in a typical home environment, comings and goings, phones ringing, microwaves beeping, vacuum cleaners, brooms, doors slamming, all of that might take some getting used to on the part of the dog. So as you bring one of these dogs into your home, some things you can think about to help with that transition period is don't rush. If your dog is showing signs of fear or stress or anxiety, the best thing we can do is give them time and be patient and go at their own pace. Any animal that goes into a new home is going to take some degree of decompression time. And by that, we mean a few days to a few weeks where their stress levels get back down to normal, they get used to the new environment they find themselves in, they learn the routines. And anytime a dog goes home from our shelter, we advise adopters to be aware that in those first days and weeks, they're really going to be about settling in and relaxing. So give them that time and space. And this isn't necessarily the time to have the whole family, all the extended family and neighbors and friends over to meet your new family member. I know everyone's going to be excited to see them, but give them that space and time to just get used to your household and the family members who live there at first. And when we're talking about an undersocialized and potentially fearful animal, less is more. Going slow and giving them exposure in a way that they are comfortable is going to get you further than trying to essentially throw them into the middle of the swimming pool. We often talk about getting new puppies out to socialize and meet lots of people and go lots of places. If our dog, and that's great for animals in a certain developmental stage who have not yet developed any kind of fears or sensitivities. But if these dogs are already having some stress, then they need us to slow it down. They need to be exposed to these types of things, but at low levels so that they're feeling safe and creating some good associations. So rather than having the whole neighborhood come over to meet your new pup, focus on getting them comfortable with you first and other members of the household, gradually building their comfort and confidence with you, and then maybe start introducing them to some close friends and family members one at a time, going slowly, and making sure that your pup is feeling safe and growing their confidence. We don't want to overwhelm them or stress them out by putting them into situations where they're in over their heads. It's also important, especially for those first early days, to create some safe spaces for your dog. So have a place that they can go that is theirs, that's kind of out of the traffic of the household. Maybe it's a spare bedroom or an office, or just setting up a little exercise pen in the back corner of your family room where they have some comfy beds and some toys and things to chew on, away from most of the noise and traffic flow of the household. We want to create that association that this is their place that they know they can be, where nothing bad's going to happen. Everything that they need is right there, and it can be kind of their home base as they settle in and learn about the rest of the home, and where they're at now. During this phase, allow them to make choices and go at their own pace. So if they are meeting you and the other people in your household, and maybe they're slow to approach, don't rush it. Don't force yourselves on them. Spend some time just quietly sharing space, sitting in the same room together, maybe a few feet away, toss some treats. If they want to approach and sniff and check you out or gradually get closer, fantastic. If they want to retreat and go lay down on their bed and just watch you from a few feet away at first, that's fine too. Let them go at their own pace. Don't force interactions. If they know they have the choice, they're going to start to feel brave and open up faster. You can help speed that process along by creating some positive associations. So get some super tasty special treats, things like cheese and hot dogs, chicken, peanut butter, spray cheese are often favorites of lots of dogs here at the shelter. And you can toss those treats to them while you're present so that they know people aren't going to hurt. In fact, they bring really cool stuff. So they'll start to anticipate great things when they see you and your family members. If you do start to see signs of fear, let's say you have a leash and collar on them and you want to take them for the first walk around the neighborhood, and you get to the end of the driveway and they kind of freeze and refuse to walk any further, then again, just slow down. You can give them some treats, give them some encouragement, maybe move closer to the house, sit on the porch with them for a while. And again, letting them choose. If they want to venture further down the driveway again, great. If they want to start walking around the neighborhood, cool. If they want to turn around after one house and go back, that's fine as well. Again, go at their own pace. If they're afraid, they need some space, they need a break, it's okay to just head on back home, let them go back to their safe spot and have some quiet time to relax. And as much as possible, avoid any experiences that might be scary unless they're absolutely essential. So things like trips to the groomer, baths, toenail trims, car rides to random places, not the vet, essentially, are probably to be avoided right now. If they do need medical care, if they do have some kind of grooming needs that are health related, certainly have to take care of those things. But otherwise, try to, again, wait until they're confident, until they're feeling more comfortable on their leash and collar, till they're feeling more comfortable walking around your neighborhood or going out in your yard, until they feel comfortable getting into your car and going for very short car rides before you take them to the park. If things aren't absolutely necessary, then keep things pretty quiet and don't force them into experiences, even if you think that they'll be fun. If they're showing signs that they're stressed or worried, it's best to go slow and let them build their confidence first. If we throw them into things they're not ready for, we could end up with longer term fears down the road. The other thing that you may experience needing to work on a bit with these dogs is it's possible they will need some house training help, learning to go to the bathroom outdoors. If they've been living their whole lives in sort of an indoor kennel type environment, they might not have had opportunities to go outside to eliminate. So they might not be trained or know that outdoors is the best place to relieve themselves. So treat them very much like you would an 8-week, 9-week-old puppy that you were bringing home on day one, who you assume does not have any house training. And the key to successfully house training a puppy or an adult dog is very, very diligent supervision and management to prevent accidents from happening inside. So what that usually looks like is having some kind of comfortable confinement area when they are not being closely watched by you. This could be that safe space that we talked about earlier, something like a crate or an exercise pen or a little room, maybe a little mud room or laundry room you can put a gate up around. Something that is small enough that they are unlikely to want to go to the bathroom. Most dogs don't want to go to the bathroom in their living space, but certainly big enough that they can be comfortable and stretch out and move about a bit. Keeping them in that smaller area when they're unsupervised will help prevent accidents when you can't watch them, because they'll be less likely to go in that spot. That said, if your dog is showing any signs of stress or discomfort with being in smaller confined areas, that might be something you want to reach out to a behavior professional about to help work on getting them more comfortable with being contained. When you do have them out and about in the house with you, keep a very, very close eye on them. So right now, until we know that they are learning to go outside, they should be under your watch directly the entire time. They shouldn't have the opportunity to walk to the upstairs bedroom while you're working in the kitchen, where they might have an accident and you won't know until hours later. Keep a close eye on them. Look for any signs that they might want to go. If you start to see them sniffing around rapidly, maybe starting to circle or go to the doors and whine, that's a good time to take them outside and give them the opportunity to go just in case. Try to also keep them on a regular schedule to go outside. So giving them opportunities to go out every couple hours after they wake up from sleeping, after meal times, after play. Those are all times when dogs commonly have to eliminate. So if we're regularly giving them the opportunity to go in the correct place, we're going to make it less likely that they're going to have an accident inside. And try to establish some kind of schedule for eating because that will make their elimination patterns more predictable as well. When they do go outside, make sure that you are present and watching them so that you can be sure that they do go, and also so that you can reward them with some praise and some treats as soon as they finish going. If they earn fantastic rewards for using the bathroom outside, then it's a wasted opportunity to eliminate inside. May as well go outside where it gets paid with snacks and good things. And when we start to build that habit of going outside is the correct thing that pays off for them, and they just don't have the opportunity to build any undesired habits of going inside, then that will become the routine that they will be choosing to only eliminate out of doors. If during that training phase, you do see them start to go to the bathroom inside, if they are starting or in the process, you can calmly interrupt them. Don't make a huge deal of it. Don't get upset or angry, but calmly interrupt it and get them outside where they can finish doing their business, and then you can praise them for going out there. We don't want to get mad and punish them as they're doing this, because what can happen is that they might learn that going to the bathroom in front of people is not safe. And so you could get a dog that gets sneaky and tries to go off to far parts of the house, down to the basement where you're not around, and you might end up with a surprise later on when you discover someplace that your dog's eliminating that you didn't know. It's going to harm the relationship that you're building with your new friend if you're getting mad at them for things like bathroom accidents, and we want them to know that you are a safe and wonderful person. So continue to build those good associations with you, whereas punishment can harm that. And also, if they do think that it's not safe to go to the bathroom in front of you, that can make things like traveling with your dog or having them eliminate on leash if you don't have a yard difficult. Anytime that you might need to be in close proximity while you're out on a walk or traveling and stopping at a hotel where you have to, or rest area where you have to walk them on leash to go to the bathroom. If they don't want to go in front of you, you're going to have a hard time. So if you have to interrupt, do it calmly, give them the opportunity to finish up in the correct place. And if you come across that accident after the fact, because you weren't doing as good a job as supervising and they snuck off around the corner and you walk around 2 minutes later and find the evidence, all you can do is clean it up. It's ancient history to them. They're not going to know why you're mad or why you're scolding them if you try to make it any kind of issue about it afterwards. With dogs, after it's a few seconds past, it's ancient history. So clean up the mess and make a mental note to yourself that you need to continue to keep a closer eye on them until the house training accidents have decreased. So we do want to make sure that you also have some further resources if things do come up, or if you're struggling, or something that I haven't talked about today becomes an issue. And so we do have some tools that we encourage you to check out. Upon adoption, you'll get information on the Maddie's Pet Assistant, which is an app for your phone that will send out some regular surveys asking about how things are going. You can respond to their questionnaires, and if there are some behavior health concerns that are coming up, it will give you immediate advice and feedback of things to try, things to keep in mind, when to seek professional help, So that's a very useful resource for all our adopters. We also at HSHV have a behavior help page on our website, and I have the URL here that covers a wide variety of topics related to behavior and training. So check out, very likely whatever question you have might be addressed on that page. If you're looking for some more in-person help with dog training, we are also pleased to have a great dog training program with several positive reinforcement-based trainers doing group classes. The contact information for those trainers is also on the website, so feel free to reach out to them if you have any specific needs for your dog, and any of them would be willing to help. So thank you so much for adopting one of our special beagles. While I've talked a bit about some of the potential challenges, there are also going to be a great number of rewards as well in opening up your homes and hearts to these little hound dogs. And thank you so much for supporting them and for supporting us at HSHV. And feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Thank you.